lies at the mouth of our district, and the fact that we have, many anchor properties and buildings that sit within our district, and so many historic homes and historic buildings that once had these wonderful businesses in them. Those facts alone were enough to drive home the fact that we needed a kind of a reorganization of the entire district, if you will. And so the National Main Street model is based around economic development within the context of historic preservation. But we obviously take a really active role in business recruitment, business marketing, bringing new business to the district, strengthening the existing businesses, and then of course like public space improvements and that kind of thing. So over the past going on, or I think we're in our 11th year now of operation and going into 12 years total. Over those 12 years, what we've been able to do is kind of building by building, brick by brick, transform our focus district, which happens to be Washington Street and the Smith Street Warehouse District. It's obviously a work in progress, and it's job security for me. But every day we're working on something that's going to somehow either bring new jobs to the area, strengthen the aesthetic look of the district, beautify it, enhance it, and bring more feet to the street. So.
Right, feet to the street. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. And you do all this with staff and volunteers and partners in the community, is that right?
Absolutely. And one of our greatest partners is the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation.
Well, thank you.
Yes, thank you. I'm actually the only staff person right now. We are going to be hiring another staff person soon, an assistant. We have a 24-member board, very engaged, a working board, very talented group of people. We have 4 main committees that meet on a monthly basis and a couple subcommittees, all focused on the main areas, which are economic development, obviously, urban design, organizational development, and events and promotions and marketing and social media. So each one of those groups has obviously chairs, and then all the members within those committees are all very skilled professionals within that particular area. And so we're really, we count ourselves really lucky to have the people that we have involved with our organization. I mean, I'm the staff person that makes sure that the boat that keeps on going down the stream, but these people are the ones that are they're behind me rowing and making sure we're going the right direction. So it's been really quite the enlightening experience to watch all this unfold and be kind of at the helm of it, watching my work and our work kind of come alive on the street. So.
Well, and you say that, and I know you have great events, and we'll talk about those in a moment, but when you talk about the street and driving down the street, you can't help but notice the public art and the street signs that are so new and make it so vibrant.
Sure. Well, and we really pride ourselves on the fact that we were one of the first districts within the city, in the valley really, that took public art to this new level. I mean, we embraced it in a way to where we got local artists, people that, artists that live in Charleston or the outlying areas of Charleston, to get directly involved with our public art initiatives. And so we've commissioned 4 murals now. We're working on our 5th one. We hope to have a 5th one up by the end of 2014. And we've now done 5 different streetworks projects, which you mentioned, the signs. And our Streetworks project is what we do is we essentially try to make the entire Washington Street corridor, and now Smith Street coming up, a mile-long work of art, a mile-long art gallery, if you will. And so we essentially have partnered with, over the past 5 years, over 80 artists total.
Wow.
And they create their own interpretation of what when they feel, or when they hear the East End, when they think about the East End or hear some story about the East End, what do they paint in their mind, and they put that on paper, and then we digitally take that piece and we put it on street signs, we put it on bricks. So if you're walking down the street, you'll see those images fired on bricks. And 5 years ago we started out with vinyl banners, and so what we're doing is we're using a new medium every year, or every few years, every couple years, and just taking that initiative all the way down Washington Street. So it's a really cool, innovative approach. It's gotten some national attention, which I'm real proud of. So.
Yeah, and you should be. And it's fun. It's just fun you get off the exit, there's the Capitol, and then you straight into the art, which I know is probably your intention, but it's beautiful.
Well, and it's actually interesting, the studies we've read that directly connect the installation of public art and economic development. It's not, the public art is great, and we do it, I want to make sure that people understand we do it for more than just beautification or aesthetic enhancement. We do it because we know what it does is that when visitors, tourists come through, or a prospective business owner, somebody that's looking to put their business in Charleston, they come through and they'll say, you know, something's really going on here, something I want to be a part of. And we've had that happen a couple of times. A couple of business owners who actually came in and found property in the district and bought or rented because they drove through and saw those street work signs.
Wow.
So, you know, it's impactful on many levels.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Well, when you talk about the buildings, you also work with saving the integrity of some of the buildings
Sure.
and the historic aspect. Is that right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have a contract with our state historic preservation consultant, Mike Giolis, and he does work all around the state. And we have an ongoing contract through Main Street, West Virginia, which is our state program, that whenever we have a business owner or a property owner that is interested in rehabbing their building, doing some, you know, some patching up or some upkeep,
Right.
we can get Mike involved at the micro level. And he actually comes in and he'll do a full consultation and provide a rendering at no charge to the business owner. And so then they have this blueprint, if you will, that they can then take to us and then apply for facade grant funds. And then we have a facade grant program where they can, we match up to $20,000 per building, per address. So if a restaurant owner comes in and he wants to put new windows in and maybe repoint his brick and you know, paint his trim a certain color that we've recommended, then we can offer up to $20,000 per address.
Quite an
As a
incentive.
match. Absolutely, and it's been working.
Yeah.
Some good examples is Karina Kwok's businesses, Umami and Maine Kwong and Sweet Spoon Yogurt, frozen yogurt, that two of which just opened a year ago. Maine Kwong, of course, has been there for
Right.
a couple decades. It's a mainstay in the district, but she took full advantage of our facade and our sign grant programs. And so that's a really good example to watch a building that was, you know, once a pawn shop that was vacant for 10 years, this new life has breathed into it, and we were able to have direct impact on how it looks on the street. So,
Yeah, that's just really huge. Why not take advantage of
yeah,
it?
right.
That's right. So when you talk about the things that you're offering, I know that this is all part of what you're thinking about as you're planning the next 5 years and building your strategic plan. And that is something that you're doing, is that right?
Yeah, actually, our board held a retreat this past August, all day long retreat, and we had moderators come in, facilitators rather come in, and spent the bulk of the day dreaming. You know, like what do we want to see happen by the year 2020? You know, that's going to be our next milestone is the year 2020, and we're now in the process. We've gotten all that information back from our facilitators, and now our individual committees are meeting and they're fleshing out their individual plans. You know, and we're going to do 1, 3, and 5 year benchmarks and figure out where do we want to be in those increments of time,
Right.
those increments of time, 1, 3, and 5 years. And the hope is you know, and I myself am a big dreamer, so I like to, you know, I'd like to think that our budget will grow, you know, by 75% in the next 5 years, and I think that's very possible. I'd like to think that every building will be totally renovated and with viable businesses in each one by the year 2020 in the East End, and I think that'll happen. So once we're done fleshing it out, we will the board will vote on it and release it in July of this year, and it'll be a living, breathing document that we'll use as our roadmap until the year 2020.
It's exciting.
It'll be on our website. It'll be accessible to the public. So we're real excited about
And
it.
when you talk about your website, what is that address, please?
CharlestonEastEnd.com.
Okay.
And the great part about our website is it's not just a website about our organization. It's actually more so about the district itself. And so a tourist, somebody that's visiting for a weekend, can go to our website and get a good feel as to what we're about. We're the funky, urban, eclectic district that you really can't find anywhere else. So.
That's right. Okay. That's great. So we talked about the buildings and we've talked about the art. Let's talk a little bit about the events.
Sure.
I know that you have great things that have happened and that are still on the schedule to come up.
Yeah. We've actually become pretty well known for our events over the past few years. Of course, a couple of the mainstay events, the East End Yard Sale, which will be coming up later this year during the weekend of Mother's Day, which is huge. We partner with the Community Association on that. What's coming up here very soon is the St. Patrick's East End Pub Crawl, and that is an event that kind of happened. You know, we just put it together on a whim a couple years ago and realized that there's this huge demand to have a central location for people to congregate and to network and to be together on St. Patrick's Day. And we involve 5 of our local pubs and restaurants, Bluegrass Kitchen, Tricky Fish, the Red Carpet, Little India Lounge, and the Empty Glass, and they all offer great specials, drink and food specials. We do this really cool thing called the Shamrock Challenge, where you have to go and take pictures with your phone of shamrocks at each business, and then you upload them to Instagram, and then if you get all 5, you're entered to win a different prize. Last year it was an iPad mini.
Oh, that's fun.
So, you know, a lot of little intricate details will be involved with the planning. We plan to partner with Footmat again this year. We did it last year. They were going to play really awesome Celtic music at all 5 of the venues all evening, and we had over 1,000 participants last year. It's not only a great fundraiser for our organization, you know, it's also a really great awareness building tool that we use to show people. I talked to so many people that were at that event that said, I've never been to any of these businesses ever in my life.
Wow.
And to me, I'm thinking, that's crazy. How could you not come down here? But, you know, I'm sure people have their places they like to stay in the different corners of the valley, and it opened their eyes to a new group of businesses that they never heard of before or never chose to go to. So it's great.
So we want to mark our calendars for the St. Patrick's Day East End Pub Crawl.
Yeah, March 15th. This year's Saturday, March 15th.
March 15th.
6 to 11, and we're working right now to extend it to have a kind of an after pub crawl experience from 11 to 1 that'll be happening at the other end of the district, and we're still in preliminary planning on that. But again, we're adding a new layer to this thing every year. It's definitely become a signature event very quickly.
And something that I know that you have done in response to what has happened with our water here in Charleston, you have created a campaign for the businesses in the East End. Is that right?
Yeah, we launched the Rehydrate campaign. Literally, we worked around the clock for a week after the spill happened, just gathering data from businesses, almost 50 businesses, I think 44 total is what we have on the list. And they all agreed to offer these really great discounts and promotions, including Mountain Stage and the Clay Center and you know, our larger anchor businesses. And the small businesses got right on board with it, and we're really happy and proud of the fact that we're the only district that there were a lot of different campaigns going on which were all great that we all partnered with on, but this is a very unique campaign in that the businesses were offering incentives to get people to get back out to their businesses. And it's worked really well so far. It worked really well, and you know, it was a 2-week-long campaign, and that's what I pride myself and our organization on, the fact that we respond to what's going on live. You know, we don't just stick to our work plan every year. If something like that comes up, we understand how devastating it can be on a business owner and to a business, and we need to do what we can as an organization to offset that, and I think we accomplished that.
I think you did. A lot of help for a lot of businesses. So
yeah, and it got great exposure, which I'm really happy about. It got really good coverage. So
yes, that's good. So we talk about East End Main Street, we think about your great events, and we know we need to mark our calendars for March 15th for the East End Pub Crawl, the weekend of Mother's Day for the huge East End Yard Sale.
Yeah.
And then check the website for upcoming events that you'll have. And I know that you're very good about publicizing. I think all the businesses publicize their events, and the information is out there for anyone to get. So again, your website is
charlestoneastend.com.
Yeah. You can find everything that you need there. And it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to meet you and to talk with you and to know that our East End is in good hands with you and your volunteers and your board, and that it is coming back to be what it used to be, what I remember it being.
Absolutely. We've come a long way since the early 2000s, that's for sure. We're really happy with it.
Yeah, so that's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining us today. It has been Community Connections, brought to you by the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation. We hope we see you next time. Bye-bye.